name is Marisa Stone, coming to you from Simon Says Social and the Systems Lounge. And I want to welcome you today to the 2017 Business Systems Virtual Summit, where you get to learn all about the business systems that our speakers use to get things done every single day. Today, I am super excited to have Tobias Michel here. He is going to talk with us all about video creation without overwhelm. And that's really, really important because a lot of people that I work with get really overwhelmed with creating video. Well, now we're going to show you how you don't have to be overwhelmed. Tobias is a creative, lifelong learner. His passions include speaking as well as teaching, and that's exactly why he creates online courses for entrepreneurs just like you. These courses are based on his extensive experience as a videographer, a media designer, and a musician. His loves include teaching and video branding skills to aspiring professionals and helping passion-filled entrepreneurs, ministries, and creatives express their heart's message without, you guessed it, overwhelm. Tobias, it is fantastic to have you here today. I am so excited to dive into this really cool video editing app.
Oh yeah, thank you for that introduction.
You're very welcome. So let's begin at the beginning. Why should entrepreneurs be concerned with creating video?
Oh, that's a great question, but it is actually very simple to answer, and many watching probably have thought about that and probably have found answers already. But I mean, everybody loves or needs to learn, and everybody needs to find experts they trust. And if we flip that around, if you are a course creator or a webpreneur of any kind, then you should be found by as many people as possible, and you should be that expert in your field, of expertise or your passion or whatever you're producing or selling. You should be found, and video is one of the best ways to be found.
Absolutely.
So I just always say, if you want to be like seen for who you are, both the expert and the hopefully charming person, so people get to know you and get to trust you, you should be using video. And
Nice.
They shouldn't be too, professional. Like if you look like a Hollywood movie, like some of those, let's say coaches,
Right.
who like look all fancy and maybe invest some 100,000 into making amazing videos. That's not where you can start. It's way too high, and it's not believable anymore.
Right.
So you need to start in a lower level, kind of to build with authenticity over time. And that could be a bit overwhelming because video can be quite, is a huge field. I mean, that's why we have all these experts and many different people, right?
Right.
So we have to start at the level that if you're a one-person business, like I am when I'm working here online for my website and my online business, then it's just me. And sometimes my wife is helping, or maybe a virtual assistant, but not for the video production. That's 100% me in front of the camera and behind the camera.
Right.
So that's kind of who I'm talking to. So if you're a creative or a webpreneur, somebody who is not a video expert, but who wants to use videos and maybe has experimented a bit and is a bit overwhelmed, then I'm here to help you.
Perfect. And we love that, because I think a lot of times when we're trying to take on a new task, there is that learning curve. You have to give yourself time to learn how to do something and accomplish it on the level that you want to. And so I love the fact that you really are all about creating video without overwhelm. That, it just makes me relax.
Exactly.
So how do I get started? How do I get started creating videos for my company? Like, what kind of videos should I be creating, and how do I make sure that they're branded?
Well, obviously there are many, many different ways. And of course, for the last year or two or so, vlogging has become really popular.
Yes.
In the sense of filming your day, or at least parts of your day, and editing together like engaging and interesting videos to tell what you do. I would say, unless you have a lot of extra time, which is probably the typical thing that webpreneurs have. Not.
Not.
Then if you have a lot of extra time, then that's a great way to start and get yourself seen. But there should be a much more or less overwhelming way. So what I recommend is actually to do like a whole strategy that I have created, and that many people already successfully use, not just because of me, but because the strategy actually works and other people have similar things. And that is to actually make small, let's say, helpful seminars of you and your expertise that is helpful for your clients. Mm-hmm. And you actually make, like, that's why I call it a seminar. On a seminar, when you would be on stage, it's just you talking. It's not much edited. It's not much work other than actually preparing the content, but the editing part is not too much.
Right.
So I would recommend that you get started using that. Now we'll get into that a little bit later, but the basic outline is, let's say you create a list of 10 topics that you know are helpful for your clients, mm-hmm. or maybe your future clients if you don't have any yet. Right. And you prepare a short seminar, 5 to 10 minutes, like a mini seminar. And you just prepare it on paper, not even on the computer, just on paper. You just like think through it and write down maybe some, words to, not the whole sentences, right? Just the words. Mm-hmm. And so you know what to talk about. And that's what you turn into a video, either filming on your phone or, of course, using a camera or webcam or something. And that's how you get started. And then you just add a little bit of extra branding, maybe your logo and maybe some background music or some little things that you can do with the editing afterwards.
Right.
And that's, I think, the best place to start.
Cool. So what is some of the technology that I'm going to need to create videos? You mentioned I could do videos on my phone. I don't know if you've explored the latest iPad, but the camera is off the charts. I just want the iPad just for the camera.
Yeah, I love the newest Apple products. They have really good cameras.
What are some of the other tools that I'm going to need besides, maybe my phone if I'm on the go? What are some of the other technologies or tools that I'll need in order to create these videos?
Well, actually, there are different ways to attack that, or if you say that. Like, for example, the budget conscious way would be, well, just stick with your phone and maybe get a little tripod and a microphone, and maybe a little light, or just film in a place where there is enough light so you don't even need a microphone or a light, and in a quiet place, so you shut all the doors and you don't have to speak loud. Then you don't even need anything, just your phone and some books to rest it against. But of course you could take this much higher. So what I usually recommend is like either buying a rather good webcam, like what we use now. For example, the Logitech C920 cameras have been very popular for many years actually. So you get them used even if you're on a budget, or you buy them new. I think they're about, I don't know, $99 new or something.
Yeah, something like that. They're not terribly expensive.
No, like they're one of the most expensive webcams out there, but they're worth it.
Right. Well, I mean, if you think about a piece of technology that you're going to use to run your business, $99 is pretty cheap.
Exactly. And also you would quickly find out that there are a lot of online solutions to make all kind of different videos, and they are all like, a subscription based. So you need to pay $50 a month just to run webinars, or maybe $100 a month.
Right.
And so I've been going through a lot of equipment actually, and solutions like that, and kind of, cutting away what do I need, what do I want, what do I actually really need, and how to actually do this on a, not necessarily a shoestring budget, but if you would have to, you could actually get started doing good videos with that. And I do have an entire resource list PDF that you can find on my website. Sign up there. We can put the link under as well.
Perfect.
Which is much more than just video equipment. It's also like how to make graphics, both for your business and for videos.
Nice.
But in terms of equipment, kind of what I mentioned, you need a little, you need a camera. So that could be your phone. If you have an iPhone 6 or newer, that's what I recommend.
Yeah.
Not older. The cameras get too bad, especially indoors, but on iPhone 6 and newer, quite good. You could, of course, maybe even get away with editing on your phone if you use, for example, iMovie, really good, or the Filmora iPhone app.
Yeah.
I think it's also for Android. So if you have an Android phone, Samsung has great cameras as well. You could use the Filmora app to edit some of the videos, all of the videos. That's quite cool. But you can edit videos on your computer, obviously, which is the preferred way.
Right.
But it's also the way to easiest get overwhelmed.
Right. Which is why you're going to tell us all about a platform called Filmora. What is Filmora?
Well, Filmora is a video editing program that is kind of gaining steam now, but it's still not super known. Like many people use other things like Premiere, Final Cut, or iMovie, even or Camtasia or ScreenFlow.
Yeah.
And most of those things, they start like at $100 and above, or a monthly subscription. And Filmora is kind of an all-in-one. So you can do screen recordings almost like in ScreenFlow or Camtasia for much less. You can edit all kind of videos, something that you can't in, for example, Camtasia or ScreenFlow. They're very like limited, like they can edit the screen and the webcam, but if you want to drag in films or videos that you've recorded from your camera, many of those camera formats actually don't work or make the computer really, really slow.
Right.
Filmora doesn't do that because it is a proper video editing program.
Nice.
So I've tried videos from my professional, very, very good DSLR camera from Sony, which film in a very strange video format, which ScreenFlow and Camtasia can't edit.
Yeah.
But it works fine in Filmora, so that's good.
Okay,
also, I've tried my iPhone, which can be edited by everything, but still, so that works. And of course, webcam. So it's a mix of everything, and it's really, really easy to use. And you don't have to go deep if you don't want to. But Filmora can go quite deep, and that's the good thing. And the best thing, you're probably going to ask me about that, is the price.
Yes, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit, but let's back up for just a second.
Yes.
What about the ease of use? So if I'm not a very techie person and I want to start using Filmora to create and edit my videos, would you say it's pretty user-friendly, or would you say that it's really difficult to learn to use?
No, that's why I recommend it. It is rather easy to use.
Yeah.
It's rather easy to get started, very user-friendly, much easier than, let's say, all the professional programs, like Camtasia, if you count that as a professional program. It's quite easy for some things, but certain other things get really complicated. And if you go for Final Cut or Premiere Pro or even Premiere Elements, which is supposed to be the easier version, it's still quite difficult to get started. And Filmora is quite easy. And some of the cool features, which I can mention there, is like, if you have a little bit more than just video, let's say you have your screen recording and you want to include, let's say, your branding on top of it, let's say your logo. Well, most programs can just drag an image in there, and that's just stationary, just standing in one corner, and that's easy to do, something I recommend. But let's say you wanted an animated intro of your logo. Of course, you could hire somebody online to do that and create that for you, which is maybe what I recommend for most people. But if you don't have that budget yet, you can actually animate stuff in Filmora quite easily as well. And they have actually something called an effect store where you can buy even more presets or effects to use.
Very nice.
It's, like I said, it's a mix of everything, and it's kind of the best of both worlds.
I like the fact that it sounds like it's really robust, and it also sounds like it can pretty much take any file format that you're trying to put in. And I'm assuming it'll also do music files and images and all sorts of things that you may want to use in order to create your videos. Does it do cinemagraphs? Do you know what those are?
Yeah, I know what cinemagraphs are. I actually haven't tried to create one in Filmora.
Okay.
Not sure if that works.
Okay.
But
I'm really excited about cinemagraphs, and I want to start using them in some of my my strategies, but I've not found a platform that really allows me to make cool ones. I mean, you can use some apps on your phone, but I'm really looking for something. So this may be another reason why I might be buying Filmora.
Well, can't promise the cinemagraph thing yet, but I know it's like there's at least, that's a typical example of something that's easy to, how do you say, to explode in costs.
Right.
Because there are like really good professional online services out there,
Right.
like, or even programs that you can download and install that just do cinemagraphs.
Right.
But that software easily costs $200 just for cinemagraphs. And it's like, what's the point? I mean, unless you're a professional video photographer creator, then that budget is kind of a bit too much for just like the occasional use, I feel.
Exactly. I completely agree. So let's talk about the budget. So what are we talking about price-wise when it comes to Filmora?
Well, actually, they've changed a little bit with the pricing policy as they have been growing now. I think they used to be just $50.
Right.
Outright. And I think now they have something called, since everybody's doing subscriptions, they're doing a yearly subscription. So I think you can pay $49 a year.
Yep. It actually looks like $39 for a year license and $59 for...
And $59 for the outright if you just buy the whole thing.
Yeah.
So by now I say it is just above $50 and then you just know you have it and you get it.
Cool. Very cool. And then you can even do multi-users. So if you have more than one person on your team creating videos, you can buy a multi-user license too, which is really cool. Now there is a difference in the personal use and the business license. And so
you've got to get the business one so that's why it's a little bit more pricey. And that's why the $59 or $69 is what I recommend, because that's the business license you can get there.
Actually, the lifetime business license, apparently they've changed it. It's $119.99 for a lifetime access business license. That's only for one PC though.
Yeah.
So your personal license, lifetime license is $59. I don't know that there's much of a difference in what you would get. There may be some more features on the business one. It's definitely something worth exploring if you guys are interested in purchasing Filmora. It's definitely
right. So I bought mine for the $59.
Yeah, and you probably do all kinds.
So like I said, they have changed during the last year now, so I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
How all that works.
So you talked a little bit before we jumped on here about a video without Overwhelm project that you are currently working on. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that before we get to the end of our interview here?
Yes, let me share my screen with you for that. Sorry, I have to look down here. So
that's okay.
The screen. Here we go. Wait a sec. So,
guys, while he is doing that, you may want to blow this image up a little bit, your video screen, so you'll be able to see as he starts going through some of this content. Sometimes inside Zoom, it's a little bit difficult to see when you're doing screen share. So just blow your screen up a little bit so you'll be able to see. Go ahead, Tobias.
Right. And you can see my screen now, fine, right?
You can, yep.
Awesome. Okay, so well, I'm working on something which is called Video Without Overwhelm. And that is a 5-step process that I'm using myself. And I'm doing actually at this very moment as of recording this. I'm following this process again. Which is something called to get better visibility and more confidence. So if you have never done videos before, I'll share with you an easy, let's say, challenge. That's easy to do and follow. But it's also, if you have done videos before, you can kind of jump a little bit onto the deep end already. And that's where also my editing courses come in more handy. But if you have never done videos, just want to do it simple, this is a good start as well. Yeah. So you'll be creating lots of video content. And something I really recommend there, well, it's a 5-step process. You start with your passion or your expertise or what you're selling. And then, of course, you don't talk like you're talking to other experts. You're talking to your clients or, the one you're actually helping. And you think about number 2 here, creating helpful seminars. And stress mini seminars. So 5 to 10 minute or 15 minutes video that are full of good content, in depth for your client audience, and not to other experts or other passionate people, because often these are different things. For me, it's really easy to communicate with other videographers or something and go into all kind of nerdy details.
Right.
But that's probably not where you and I would start when we would work together.
Right.
So that's what I mean. You've got to be very strict with yourself do something that is actually helpful. It's not just promoting or selling your services or products. It's actually something that helps your target audience. And then you start and you write down 10 topic ideas, kind of like I outlined before. So you create 10 mini seminars. And just to be honest and just to stretch myself a little bit, like I said, I do it now on paper. I try to use my computer and all my wizardry of video production and editing, try to use it as little as possible. Right. Just to start on a level that is without overwhelm for myself, but also is kind of very representative of maybe a first-time video user or video creator for a business. So I have 10 topics, or you should create 10 topics. And then you should, here's the point number 4, where you can stretch yourself. If you've never done videos, then I would recommend you film and publish a video every second week.
Yeah.
So you film and do little editing, or maybe none. You could go live on Facebook and just go through your seminar live on Facebook with no editing whatsoever. And of course, you will feel very, very challenged at first, or maybe stressed at first,
right,
working live. And that's why I want you to do 10 in every second weeks. So if you do that for altogether 20 weeks, you have created good content for your business that is helpful, and you have done it 10 times over a period of time. So you actually will see that you feel much more confident at the end.
Yeah, I agree.
And after that, you can go to number 5 and evaluate and see, okay, how confident do you feel talking now on camera, unedited, or very close to unedited? And then you can decide, okay, is this something I want to continue in the exact same way, or do I want to take a step up and actually, let's say, make the videos a bit better when it comes to editing, when it comes to maybe your performance in front of the camera, let's call it a performance, how good you talk, or how good many things, but keep it authentic, right? And then of course you can improve, like I said, maybe include more editing and more branding, and then you repeat the process if you decide so. But that is the basic outline concept that, like I said, you could do it live on Facebook with no editing. Then that's what I'm doing at this moment, in addition to sometimes publish more in-depth edited videos with helpful content. But the main highlights here of what we talk about here today, and what we will go more in depth in a second video here, is the in-depth outline, how to outline those mini seminars, and then how to film and publish, and especially film and edit using cameras and using Filmora.
Yeah.
So my point is, well, I can give you a glimpse of that mini seminar structure here. So the mini seminar should be 5 to 10, 15 minutes, depending on how deep and your content is. I don't want you to waste your viewers' time.
Right.
So try to be short, sharp, and to the point. Short, sharp, and on fire. Be passionate, but
exactly.
Don't get lost. I have a tendency to talk too much, so when I get excited, I can continue talking. But anyway, but here's a quick outline. So you first really like every video, every seminar has the same outline, and that is what kind of is part of that system that helps you create content easily and repeatedly and over time, like with similar quality and good results. And the more you do it, the results and your viewership should grow too, and your clients, hopefully too, not just viewers. Exactly. So here's the basic outline. Take a screenshot of that, or I can read it quickly. You start with a short introduction of the content, like the first sentence or two.
Right.
Should be just like, okay, for example, today I'll teach you about Filmora.
Right.
That was 2 seconds. After that, you can start with a little logo animation, 5 to 15 seconds or something. Some simple editing just to put that in. Add some music or some sound effects. And you got something good there. Doesn't have to be fancy, but can be if you want to. Then you introduce yourself in just one sentence, so that new viewers who have not met you before, because those are the ones who are likely eventually watch the video, that new viewers get to know you. So in one sentence, I would say, hi, my name is Tobias Michel, and I help webpreneurs create videos without overwhelm. Short description. Don't waste time, so don't go into your entire bio. And then you go to the main part, the helpful content. You get to structure that the way you want. And like I said, if that takes 5 or 10 minutes or whatever, that's all good, just not too long. And of course, if it's in depth, you got to take some time. And if it is less in depth, short, sharp, and on fire. And you end that with a call to action or something where you explain how your viewers could get in touch with you, how to take it further, sign up for something if you have a helpful resource or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe another 5 or 10, 15 seconds long outro animation where you maybe just repeat the call to action or something. Have your logo and your tagline and your website. That's enough for an outro. So you have some branding elements there so that new viewers always know who you are and what you do and what you're about. And then you have good content. Mm-hmm. And you can do that 10 times over 20 weeks. You get good stuff.
Nice. Yeah, that's a great idea, especially for people who are trying to start out creating some of these little mini seminars. It's a great idea to have a short, sweet little to-do list, right? Yes. To start with. So I know we are at the end of this interview, but I would like for people to learn how to reach out to you. You mentioned that you had a blueprint. You mentioned that you've got some resources on your website. How can people reach out to you and gain access to you?
Well, if you want to say hi or work with me, just say hi@tobiasmichel.com. That's my email address. Yep. Really straightforward. And tobiasmichel.com is my website. And you'll find also a link to the resource list. Like I said, I have not just Filmora, but all kind of other tools as well. If you need affordable, easy to use resources, like whether that's lights for filming, whether that's microphones, whether that's how to make some graphics, what to use. There are tons of free solutions and really affordable solutions, and I've kind of tested many of them over the years. And so that's what I've condensed into a PDF that you can sign up and download at tobiasmichel.com/p/resources.
Very nice. Very nice. And guys, you can access those. There will be links below or beside this interview, and you can access those and reach out anytime you need to. Make sure that you click on the links below so that you can learn more from Tobias and really take advantage of some of the resources that he's put together. So if you are part of the All Access Pass, stick around because we are going to dive deep into Filmora. Tobias is going to show us all about how to jump in there and utilize some of the resources and the features inside Filmora. So stick around and make sure you check out that second interview. See everybody soon. Bye.